Okay, hey, welcome back to Dwayne and Nidia's Kitchen. And today, I'm not cooking. I'm actually not even baking. I'm going to do my version of Ina Garten's Mocha Icebox Cake. And I'll say my version because I'm taking a few liberties with things that I think won't hurt the flavor, won't hurt the end result, but will make things way easier and less fattening. Not that Ina Garten is known for making things that aren't absolutely delicious treats, but sometimes you do want to cut a few corners if you're trying to watch your weight. Let me tell you what I'm going to use to make her version of Mocha Icebox Cake. First off, Cool Whip. And yes, the real Ina Garten would actually do her own whipping, and I will do some whipping, but I am going to use some Cool Whip. The no sugar, zero sugar Cool Whip. I'm going to use some chocolate chips. I'm going to use some mascarpone cheese. I'm going to use some Hershey's unsweetened chocolate powder, some pure vanilla extract, some whipping cream. I do have some espresso coffee here, half a cup of sugar, Kahlua, which I've already measured into the half cup. And whereas Ina likes to make her own very, very thin, very crispy chocolate chip cookies, I have gone to my favorite cookie, which I very rarely eat and very rarely buy. Very, very thin, very crunchy chocolate chip cookies that Tate's makes. And I'm going to use that to line the bottom of my springform pan and to layer throughout the icebox cake itself. Outside of that, that's pretty much it. Everything gets put together basically in one bowl, and then we whip everything at the mixer. So meet you back when I show you how to combine everything. Welcome back. Now that you know everything you need, I'm going to show you all you need outside of the ingredients is one bowl. Everything's going to go in this bowl, and this is going to be the base of our icebox cream. I'm going to start with 2 cups, actually 2 cups. This is an exact 2-cup container of whipping cream, heavy whipping cream. You're probably thinking, why does she have 0 sugar? It's because I want to make it more frothy and a little bit lighter so that even though the cake will be fairly big, each slice will be a little bit less condensed with the more fattening items. And I'll add that at the very end, which is my 0 sugar container. I have 2 here, but I'm only going to use 1. Next, I'm going to add my half cup of Kahlua. Everything is better with Kahlua. Everything, right? And it's going to be 3 tablespoons of my favorite Hershey's unsweetened cocoa powder. So I'm going to put in 3 tablespoons. 1. Make sure they're sort of level. I don't want to overpower it. Can you overpower the chocolate flavor? Maybe. 3 tablespoons. There we go. It is considered mocha, so you have to give it the chocolate base. And outside of the chocolate chip cookies, it's really going to come from the cocoa powder. Oh, just notice there's a residual amount of Kahlua. None of it's going to waste. It's all going into this cake. Okay, now we're going to put 3 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Not having my glasses on, I have to look carefully to find the teaspoon one. Is it this one, Dwayne? No, that's 3/4, right? So now everyone knows that Nidia really can't see without her reading glasses. This is the teaspoon. Here we go. So I'm going to put 3 teaspoons of the vanilla. 1, 2, and 3. To that, I'm going to add, and I have pre-measured half a cup of regular white granulated sugar. Put that there. And I am going to add and this is Cafe Bustelo, which is a espresso, very finely ground espresso. Look at my little, 2 teaspoons of coffee. This gives it that mocha-y. I'm still looking for the teaspoon. Here it is. I don't know. I kind of like the coffee flavor. Maybe I should use more than the 2 teaspoons, right? Is it teaspoons? Yeah, it says 2 teaspoons, but I'm actually adding 3 heaping. How's that sound, Dwayne? You're a coffee fan, right?
I don't know if I go too far.
All right, maybe just that third one be small. Then this one won't be. You can't be afraid.
Have you considered using sugar substitute? Because you've done a lot to avoid sugar and.
You know what?
Not just
the texture will be off because this does not bake.
Cheesecake, I was able to do like a kind of a.
You're going to put these containers, just so people understand. These containers have, I believe, 10 ounces. I don't know, Dwayne, how many are these containers? This is the only size of mascarpone I can find at Stop and Shop or at a local grocery store. Well, anyway, 1.5 containers. So I'm going to put 1 whole container. Mascarpone is really the cream cheese of Italy.
It's 8 ounces.
It's 8 ounces, so we want 12. All right, so mascarpone is like the cream cheese of Italy. In fact, many people prefer it over cream cheese. It has a slight sweetness to it. It's very, very good. It really makes this icebox cake pop. I'm going to put half this container, just like that. Whoops, stuck. Let me, oh, not quite half. Let me just make sure it's half. And then take it from here and make sure that I get all of it into the mix. And I still have the other half, or rather Dwayne has it, to eat with his waffles and things. Mm-hmm. So that's it for this base. Now all we have to do is get this all combined and place it into our bowl that we use for the mixer. I have a KitchenAid here. This is the bowl that gets in the KitchenAid. We don't fold in any of this Cool Whip until after we get the peaks and after we turn this into a cream. All right, see you at the mixer. All right, so before I do get it onto the mixer, I'm gonna give this a couple of stirs because I want to break down that mascarpone and get it started.
It's been out for a while softening, right? So
a little bit, but not a ton of time. I'd say less than maybe a half hour, maybe. All right, let me just get the big lumps down. When you put it in the mixer, I'm using my whisking end, not the beating end that you would use for cakes, because I do want to whisk this until it turns into almost like a cream and forms soft peaks. Then I will fold in the additional, and again, I still have some lumps of mascarpone. I'll just have to wait and work it through. It smells heavenly. I can smell that Kahlua and that coffee in here though. Wow. Really, really good. All right, we'll see you at the mixer. Okay, so I'm at the mixer now. I have my whisking tool on the end here, and I'm going to turn this into sort of like a cream. Kind of when you think about whipped cream, I'm going to turn this into something like that. I'm actually going to have it going at, yeah, starting slower than I'll end. Yep. You want this to form soft peaks, but it does take a little bit.
Breaking up?
It is. I'm going to speed it up in a second. Let's get that. Perfect. Slowly graduating to a faster speed to whip this cream into a mocha cream. Looking very good. And because I'm using the actual metal device that came with this mixer, the sides are nice and high. I don't get any spillage, and it's very easy to control the speed. Really, it's foolproof when you have a mixer that's kind of got all its matching pieces.
Does this whip up to like peaks?
Yeah, it will. All right, you can turn that down until it's peak. Wow, this is turning into cream. I can see the soft peaks. Shutting it down. See this? You don't want to waste any of this. This is puffy, creamy gold. Of course, I'm not very good at taking it out of here, but I will make sure I get as much as possible. What's really nice is if you have someone in the kitchen with you that can take a taste.
Are you switching beaters?
No, I'm all done.
Oh, you just do by hand, you fold in the whipped cream.
I fold in the whipped cream. The actual, it's not even whipped cream, it's the no sugars.
Yeah, that's cool.
Because I've actually made less volume of this is why I'm doing that. Okay. And that's why I added a little more.
Use the machine to bring in the whipped cream, the Cool Whip.
No. You fold it in. Just to make sure. Ah, how's that? Oh, good. Okay, now I can fold in this, but I'm going to fold it in just a little at a time. And I'm not going to fold in a ton because I think the volume here looks pretty good. Yeah, the volume looks great. This, like I said, I kind of played with the recipe amount using less heavy cream because I wanted to be able to cut and lighten the, wow, this looks really, really good. I want to incorporate that lighter Cool Whip. And, you know, for those of you who think I'm ruining it by adding Cool Whip, wait till you try it. That's all I have to say. Wait till you try it. And it is getting beautifully incorporated. This is the basis for the icebox cake. And just as I get it all in there, I've used about 3/4 of the container.
Yeah, about that.
I'm going to add just a smidgen more for the volume. And then that's it. The rest I'll just either use for something else. I use most of that one container. And like I said, it's 0 sugar. I think maybe because I've been using Splendas and, you know, other sweeteners for so long, I don't really notice an aftertaste. But for those of you who don't want any of these fake sugars, just use the whipping cream with the sugar and, you know, just a little bit more whipping cream. That's all you'd have to do. Add another cup.
And if you're Ina, you'll just make your cream.
If you're Ina, you'll make everything. If you're Nidia, you don't have to be a hero in the kitchen. And this is going to taste beautiful. It'll work just fine. Trust me.
Looks great.
Okay, we're ready to pull together our Ina Garten quasi version of icebox or Mocha Icebox Cake. First thing you want to do is get a springform pan. I'm not quite sure of the diameter here. It looks like it's about a 10. Oh, it's a 12. Okay, so I'm using a big size. And I think I have quite the filling amount. And we're going to start layering this at the bottom. But before I do anything, because we do refrigerate this before we serve it, and we don't want it to stick or anything to keep it from coming out very cleanly from the springform pan, I'm going to spray it. And you can spray it with any kind of spray. You can butter it. I go with the butter flavored. Any kind will do. It's really about getting it on the edges. I think Ina says to use parchment paper, but I've never really needed it. Huh?
I would think on the bottom you could parchment, but
I don't think it's going to be necessary because I usually keep the springform bottom on while I serve it. So I think I'll be okay. Now, Ina would use her own chocolate chip cookies, or she would use something else that would be really, really crunchy, like almond biscuits or something else. I'm showing you how thin and crispy. In fact, you can hear these crisp. I'm going to use this to make my crust. There you go. These are the best chocolate chip cookies. They're obviously, I'm taking a shortcut for time, not for cost. It's probably way less expensive to make your own cookies, or even to buy those big rolls and make your own cookies, because you can get them quite crispy when you use that. But these are such a delicious cookie, and they're made in New York, and they're famous. It's kind of like a jigsaw puzzle, what I'm doing here. I want to fill in as much of the bottom as possible to make the crust. So I'm going to start cutting it into pieces to really fill in that bottom part here, and to get as much of it covered in the cookie. And I, for this amount, anticipated needing about 3 bags of these cookies. Not sure how much I'll need or how much I won't need, but I do have 3 bags.
Just on the bottom?
No, you layer the cookies throughout.
Layers.
Yeah, it's a couple layers, at least 2. And then on the top, that's what the chocolate chips are for. Okay, so next, you want to take your cream, and I'm going to put a couple of big spoonfuls of the cream and then use a spatula to spread it evenly. It makes, as you saw, quite a bit of cream, so I should be good for at least 2 layers. Let me try one more here, and now I'll spread it using the spatula. And an icebox cake, remember, it's really, there are some icebox cakes that you actually put in the freezer, and then there are some that just require refrigeration. This one, according to the recipe at Ina's website, she just refrigerates anywhere from 6 to 12 hours and serves it cold from the fridge after she opens the springform pan. This is one of her most famous recipes. So if you think I'm being sacrilegious and doctoring any of it, please go to her website and you can see the actual traditional recipe in all its glory, and give it a try. I did make hers once. This is just me playing with it a little bit and trying to make it so it takes less time. Because you really, sometimes when you're entertaining, you want to make sure people come over, but you want to make sure that, you know, you have enough time to cook and bake whatever you'd like. Here comes another layer of these cookies. And you want to do the same thing you did when you did it on the bottom. You want to put it over. You don't have to be as careful with covering every nook and cranny at this point because it's more about just how you're slicing it. And I'm getting them nice and tight though, and moving them over and trying to save space for this last cookie. Remember, there'll be another layer of cream over that. So I may have overbought, which I'm sure Dwayne won't mind, the Tate's cookies.
We'll work it out.
He'll figure out what to do with the leftover bag.
Yeah.
Looks like 2 bags is about what I'll end up using here.
Well, had you gone with a third layer, you would have gone to the third layer.
Yeah, I don't think I'll need a 3rd layer though. It looks like one more layer ought to do it.
Yep.
And I'm gonna put another sliver there. I see a couple more spaces around the bottoms here that I want to make sure get a little bit of, well, it's that crunch factor when you get into this. And here's a piece. There you go. So I used 2 containers of the Tate's and I have 1 cookie left.
Actually,
you can
had
see.
2 cookies because I ate one too.
Oh, he ate one. Okay. Let's see how I do with this amount of cream. I do think the 12-inch turned out to be a good estimate though.
Good size.
Mm-hmm. And I still have quite a bit of cream, so I should be in really good shape.
Looks like you could use a bit more too, so there you go.
No, I have more cream.
Yeah.
The amount of cream is
Want me to
about
hold that
right.
little spoon?
No, I'll get it.
You're fine.
Yeah, I'm fine. I think I saved this just to kind of get those last smidges, so I actually don't need it now, but let me get the biggest amounts of what's left in here. Here I go. This, without even tasting it, the smell of that coffee, right?
You can smell it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a combination of the espresso and the Kahlua, probably more the Kahlua than anything else, right?
So yeah, so that's the other thing. This is an alcoholic dessert.
Well, it's Ina Garten.
No, but you don't cook off the alcohol.
No,
so
we don't cook or bake any of this.
So it's whatever you add is in there.
Yeah, maybe you might have to warn small children not to eat a lot of it.
It's not, yeah.
It's not like
It is actually
Dwayne's.
alcoholic.
It's not like Dwayne's boozy cherries.
Like when you make like chicken masala, you cook off the alcohol.
There's no cooking off of the Kahlua here.
So
Kahlua is not, you know, it's not.
It's not but just it is there. So it's probably important, at least at least to make people aware there is alcohol in this. And there you go. But it makes it good. I mean, taste-wise, it wouldn't be the same without it.
I don't know. I could have gone with a smaller, I think, but it looks fine.
I think so.
You think it looks good? I'm just spreading. This top layer is pretty thick of the Kahlua cream, and that's what I'm calling it, a Kahlua
Let me see.
cream.
Let me see. Slide it over here. I need that too.
He doesn't want to be in the video, but he can't help himself. There he goes. While he's doing that, let me get the chocolate chips ready.
And all I'm doing is the swirl approach. You spin the container and you... It's a nice way to even things out and give you a nice little... Right?
Okay.
There you go. It is swirled and you're gonna...
And it actually looks like a really good size. Now, Ina has decorated her Mocha Icebox cakes sometimes with slivered almonds, sometimes with little snickerdoodle type things, usually some type of chocolate.
I can see coconut kind of over there. Not that we like it.
I think I'm just going to go with the semi-sweet chocolate chips.
I think from a presentation perspective, I can
Yeah,
see
I mean, have fun with it. You know, I'm not a chef. I'm not a trained cook. I'm just somebody who likes food, and
Oh,
I
I
like to
know.
cook. So what I like to do is I kind of like to experiment in the kitchen. But I think what I'd like all of you to try to do is not be afraid to experiment. You're not going to ruin anything. If all the ingredients are things you like and things that you would like combined in the end, then it'll taste great. You know, the only thing you might do is just be more careful with seasoning because that can make or break a meal. But even so, you know, it's kind of like, I think I was saying to Dwayne, like when you see a little kid who tries to cut their own bangs, you can keep trying to fix it. But usually if you oversalt or you overpepper, you're going to have to live with it unless you kind of take the rest of the balance off the recipe. Look at this Mocha Icebox Cake.
There you go.
This goes now in the refrigerator for about a minimum of 6 to 8 hours, and certainly if it's there for 12, even overnight, it'll be perfect.
Beautiful. Looks great.
I'll show you when we're ready to slice into it. There, we're back, and the icebox, the Mocha Icebox Cake, has been chilling pretty much all day now. Dwayne is going to do the honors. I figure since I made it, you can be the taster. So it's in a springform pan, which means you really should go all the way around. If you recall, I did put some of that spray around it. Hey, it looks pretty good. Not bad.
Looks pretty.
In fact, that looks fantastic.
Very nice.
I think it's ready, Dwayne. I think you can do the honors.
Well, I was gonna whether you thought it was ready or not. So.
All right, I get it.
It's that time. It's been actually I think 8 hours.
It should have firmed up nicely. Let's see.
Well, we'll see.
I'm glad it came out nice and clean.
Check that cut. It's pretty good. I think I'm gonna take a chance.
All right. Do you want the little pie cutter or the pie wedge?
I'm just gonna take a chance.
Okay.
And see if I can get at least most of it. I got pretty good.
Oh, that does look pretty good.
I'll have to get this little. We don't want to waste.
Oh, of course not.
No. Don't want to be wasteful. There you go.
And?
That's some mocha. I'm gonna see if we can get some cookie on this one. Yeah, some cookie in there.
Let's see. Wow, the cookie looks great in there. There were 2 layers of cookies, one on the bottom, one in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
And it should be crunchy, right? Let's see what it looks like on the inside.
Let's see where I cut it.
Yep.
Yep, I cut a little. There you
Wow. So that's what it looks like when it's all cut. You can see cookie on the bottom and cookie through the middle layer.
go. It's nice and light. You get that little zing from the Kahlua.
Yeah.
So it's not strong.
No, shouldn't be.
Well, it's Kahlua, so which is not a strong liquor,
No.
but it does come through. You do notice that there's a alcohol, just a hint of it in there.
Hint of alcohol.
Yeah, it's not anything like I'm not going to sit down and hope I get drunk off this, but you know.
Probably not.
No. Very nice.
So it's a
This is a good one.
keeper kind of dessert, right?
Yep, we're going to have to do a little bit of sharing because that's a lot for the 2 of us.
Well, my mom is looking forward to giving it a try tomorrow, and I'll share some with her. If you want to take some for your dad with the other things that we cooked today, that would be great. Let's just say goodbye.
Anyways, yeah. Well, thanks everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Remember, like, subscribe, and enjoy.
Thank you.